walks like fire, unashamed, untamed. Laughs like the world was built in her name. A hunter with honey on her lips, wielding sarcasm like a blade on her hips. I should hate her, gods I tried, but every glare she throws feels justified. She doesn't flinch at my name, my curse. She stares like she's seen something worse. She's a Winchester, all might and pride. Yet I'd burn down kingdoms to stay by her side. Lydia, with your wicked little grin, you turn the devil into a man who could sin. I've slaughtered saints, painted cities red, but you're the voice I hear inside my head. She talks back like bullets, fearless and bold. Calls me original, like I'm already old. But she sees through the centuries, past the facade. Touches the monster like she's touching God. I've known queens, killers, lovers, thieves, but she's chaos dressed in worn out jeans. She kissed me once just to prove she could, and I've never craved pain so good. She's a Winchester, all fire and light, a sunrise that makes monsters wish for night. Lydia, you unmake me with a smirk, and every fight with you is sacred work. I'd bleed for less, but for you I'd kneel. You're the huntress I couldn't kill. You call me cruel, and you're not wrong, but you hum my name like it's a song. You say I'm lost, maybe I am, but you never needed a lamb. You needed something darker still, and I needed something real. You're a Winchester, and I'm the sin. Yet here we are, drawing blood just to begin. Lydia, my love, your war and peace, a dangerous vow I'll never release. You broke the silence I wore like steel. You're the only thing I want to feel. And they warned me you'd make my ruin, but darling, I've never felt more alive.
I saw you coming, fangs and charm, that'll ruin you, kind of calm. Heard your name like a ghost in the dark, knew you'd leave a burn, not just a mark. You smile like sin dressed in black, say my name like a weapon you'd never give back. You're everything I'm trained to destroy, so why the hell do you feel like a choice? I should've shot you first, before the smile, before your voice made my heart run wild. Class, you're the worst kind of truth, the kind that strips away my bulletproof. Your blood and poetry, pain and thrill. And God help me, I love you still. You call me fire, Like you're not the match, like you didn't light me just to watch me catch. You talk like love, but you fight like war, and I keep letting you back in the door. I push you, pull that toxic waltz, but every scar feels like it's my fault. And when you look at me like that, damn, I forget every reason I ran. I should've shot you first, ended the game, but then you whispered my real name. Class, you're a storm in a tailored suit, and I've got no armor left to refute. You're the bite I beg to feel, the wound that never wants to heal. You scare me because you see me, not the sass, not the hunter, but the girl beneath the fury. And maybe that's what love is, not soft, not clean, but violent and real, and everything in between. I should've shot you first, ended the ache, but with you I want the heartbreak. Class, you're my wrong that feels so right, the reason I keep choosing the fight. Your chaos wrapped in something still, and maybe you're the one I can't kill. So here's my truth, rough, loud, unrehearsed. I should've shot you first, but damn it, I'm glad I didn't.
I came from a world of concrete and stars, where magic lived only in books and scars. Then I fell through a story I never knew, and somehow the story led me to you. They called you prince, they bowed with grace, but I only saw a boy with a storm in his face. Your heart held oceans and war-torn skies, yet you looked at me like I was a sunrise. I wasn't born for crowns or thrones, but in your arms I found my home. No royal blood, no ancient name, yet you saw me and loved me just the same. Caspian, my love, you pulled me through. I found the crown when I found you. You taught me the stars, the sword, the song, that being brave doesn't mean being strong. I tripped through courts, I stuttered and fell, still you said I ruled your heart so well. They dressed me in gold, called me their queen, but none of that matters like what you mean. In your gaze I learned my worth, not from a title, but from the earth. I wasn't born for crowns or thrones, but in your arms I found my home. No royal blood, no ancient name, yet you saw me and loved me just the same. Caspian, my love, you pulled me through. I found the crown when I found you. I was never meant to rule or reign, but you gave me love but in your heart I've carved my own. Through every trial, every view, my kingdom lives in love in you. Caspian, my king, forever true. The crown I wear, I found in you.
She came not from castles, nor silk-spun dreams. No throne had ever whispered her name. She walked in like the wind through the golden leaves, and still Narnia never felt the same. Her hands bore no jewels, her smile no deceit, yet the stars bowed the moment she spoke. A girl of the world, now my heart's heartbeat, a promise wrapped in an emerald cloak. She wasn't born to wear a crown, yet I'd give her mine without a sound. For in her eyes the kingdom lies, wilder than sea, gentler than skies. Maya, oh Maya, you're the queen I'd fight for. The crown you wear now was never asked for. She feared the snow, then danced through frost, tamed wolves with whispers, healed what was lost. The people call her Lady Light, but she still asks if she's doing it right. And when doubt finds her in silent halls, I remind her of how the starlight falls, not on bloodlines but on souls that burn, with the kind of love we never earn. She wasn't born to wear a crown, yet I'd give her mine without a sound. For in her eyes the kingdom lies, wilder than sea, gentler than skies. Maya, oh Maya, you're the queen I'd fight for. The crown you wear now was never asked for. Yet made for me, a love more true than prophecy. No fate could draw, no stars could scheme the way you turn this prince to a tree. You weren't born to wear a crown, but you've worn my heart without backing down. And if they ask who rules beside, it's not by name, it's not by pride. Without a sword, the crown she never asked for, but still she wore it more royal than before.
She walks through the dark like it's home, doesn't flinch when the monsters moan. Eyes like fire and forest rain, a soul stitched tight with loss and pain. She's not afraid of blood or ghosts, she's danced with death more than most. But when she looks at me, God, it stings like she sees past the badge and all my broken things. She's a grim like me, but not the same. She holds her hurt like it's part of her name. Alyssa, the kind that fights and feels, a blade and a balm, a wound that heals. I didn't think love would come with teeth, but she bites down and I can breathe. She talks in riddles, laughs in scars, doesn't need saving. She's battled stars, she's fury in motion, grace in a war, and I swear I've never wanted more. They say grim stand alone, it's fate, but fate never met her fire and faith. She's the reason I still believe that light can live in those who grieve. She's a grim like me, but not the same. She made me feel without shame. Alyssa, the calm inside my rage, the chapter that rewrites the page. She doesn't flinch, she doesn't flee. She's chaos and yet she steadies me. She, her, when the world's too loud, in bloodied rooms beneath the shroud. When weapons scream, when hope runs thin, she's the voice that pulls me back in. And maybe I don't know how to pray, but if I did, I'd ask her to stay. She's a grim, forged in grief and grace, with eyes that make the darkness chase. Alyssa, the name I whisper slow, like I'm afraid the world will know that I'm not the weapon they all see, not since she believed in me. I thought being a grim meant walking alone, but then she showed me the soul behind the stone.
I wasn't raised to be soft or kind, trained to chase down what hides behind. Blood in my name, steel in my veins. I knew the dark before I knew pain. But then I saw you, the weight in your stare. A man who's seen too much, but still cares. You didn't flinch when I showed my scars. You just held them like constellations in jars. You weren't the hero I read about. You're the silence after the shouting doubt. Nick, I was built for blade and shade, not lullabies or love that stayed. But when you looked at me, I came undone. Maybe I'm not meant to be saved. voice saying I'm something pure. You see the war in my every breath, and still you reach across the depth. Maybe I'm broken, maybe I'm brave, but you're the only one I'd let stay. You were meant to fix the girl with fight, but you kissed the pieces into light. Nick, if there's hope in me at all, it's carved in how you catch my fall. Not a fairy tale, but something true. I wasn't meant to be saved, but somehow I was meant for you. I'm still the blade, still the scar, but you love me exactly as I are.
She walks like a secret, breathes like a flame, a myth in the moonlight calling my name. Half of her howls, the other half sings, and I can't tell if she's nightmare or wings. Her eyes are oceans that pull you below. Her claws dig deep, but you'd never know. I swore I hated what monsters could do, but then she looked at me, and I broke in two. She's the howl in the silence, the hymn in the dark. She's a warning and a wish, a bite and a spark. Sylvia, your name cuts like a scar. Half wolf, half siren, and all of my heart. I was supposed to fear you, but all I do is fall. She sings and the world forgets how to breathe, but I remember every sound she leaves. Her brother's the alpha, the hero, the shield, but she's the storm the gods never sealed. She looks at me like she sees too much. My guilt, my pain, my wounds she won't touch. Yeah, yet here I stand in the fire she lit, and I'd let it burn me every damn bit. She's the howl in the silence, the hymn in the dark. She's a curse and a cure, a shiver, a spark. Sylvia, the war I didn't expect. You tore through my hate with quiet respect. I was meant to fight you, but I only learned to feel. You scare me, not because you're a monster, but because you're not, because you see me. And I forgot how to hate when I saw you cry, when you screamed at the sky. I wanted to save you, God, I wanted to die. You're the hole in my chest, the song in my skin, the danger I crave, the love soaked in sin. And Sylvia, you ruined the rules, a siren wolf queen who made monsters look like fools. I was trained to end you, but I think you're the only thing real. Howling him, that's what you are. And I'm just the boy who thought he could survive your star. You wear your name like it's carved in stone, a rebel prince in a house of bone, raised in shadows, taught to hate. But I saw you before
looked at me like I was wrong, like my blood made me less, but not for long. Because behind the smirk, behind the game, was just a boy afraid of flame. Serious, you're more than the black you bear, more than the whispers, more than the glare. You were born in fire, but you reach for light, even when it hurts, even when it bites. And maybe I'm not what you were meant to find, but I love the boy who left hate behind. They call me muggle-born, like it's a stain, like I'm a spell with half the name. But you never flinched at my spark. You held me like I could light the dark. I know your house, your pride, your pain, the echo of chains you still can't name. But you touched me like I was truth, not some war they fed you in youth. Serious, you're more than the blood you curse, more than the legacy they rehearse. You were never theirs, not really, not quite. You were always the shadow begging for light. And maybe love was never in your plan, but I saw the boy before the man. You told me once you were too far gone, that your heart was more fire than song. But I'd rather burn in your storm each day than ever walk away. Serious, you're more than the world believes, a soul with bruises no one sees. You fight with fire, love with fear, but when I'm with you, I feel clear. So take my hand, forget the flame. I've always loved the boy behind the name. Let them curse what we became, but I choose you, even with the name. They call me two things that should never combine: a melody cursed, a howl out of time. They look at me like I'm the end of the world, but you looked and didn't turn. I've broken hearts with just one note, ripped through flesh when the moon spoke, but you stood still, eyes wide with ache, like you saw the girl beneath the quake. You were the boy who didn't run, even when I shattered the sun, even when my voice cracked the air. You were still there, you still cared. Nolan, I'm not easy to trust, but somehow you didn't see dust. You saw a storm, you wanted to touch the girl too much and not enough. I know what I am, but you look at me like I'm worth more. And I hate that I want to believe it's true, that someone like you could love someone like two. You were the boy who didn't run, even when I came undone. Even when I growled through my pain, you held your ground, whispered my name. Nolan, I'm not made for love songs, but you make me wanna prove them wrong. You heard the monster and still leaned in. God, what kind of boy forgives that sin? I've sung boys to madness, I've howled at gods, but you just stood in the wreckage and nodded. You said my name like it wasn't a weapon, like I wasn't a curse, just a question. And maybe I'm still learning how to be whole, but if I break, let it be into your soul. You were the boy who didn't run, and I'm the girl who's come undone. But I'd rather be shattered by truth than perfect and hollow, hiding my roots. No, and if I sing again, let it be for you, not to destroy, but to feel something true. I was made to haunt, to bite, to stun, but you're the only one who stayed. The boy who didn't run.
He walks like the world never told her in a row, like magic was hers before she could know. Hair like firelight, voice like rain, and every step she takes rewrites my name. She shouldn't matter, not in my tale, not with her books and her messy braid veil. But when she looks at me, it's war and peace, and the black in me forgets its leash. Iris, your ink on a bloodstained page, a storm that danced through a gilded cage. They said your name with poison breath, but to me it sounded like cheating death. You're everything I was told to hate, but loving you feels like fate. She casts without effort, laughs without care, and I burn just to touch her air. She's muggle born, and I'm pure blood spoiled, a legacy steeped in names I've soiled. But she doesn't flinch, doesn't beg or plead. She sees the boy underneath the breed, and I burn the tapestry, the name, the line, if it meant I could call her mine. Iris, your ink on a bloodstained page, a love that's louder than pure blood rage. You lit the fuse inside my chest and made the rebel feel blessed. I should let go, but it's already too late. You're carved into my fate. They'll never understand you, so maybe they'll never understand me. But I was born into chains, and you're the key. I still take. Iris, your ink on a bloodstained page, soft rebellion, unspoken rage. You made me want something clean in a world that's never been seen. They'll call it scandal, call it wrong, but you're the reason I belong. So let them choke on pride and fear. I chose you and that truth is clear. Even if I lose my name, my stage, you'll still be the ink on my blood-stained page.
You always sat one heartbeat away, books in hand, your eyes tucked away. But I saw you every full moon tear, every smile that masked the fear. You called me wild like it was a warning, but you stayed dusk till morning. I saw the cracks you tried to mend, and I still would choose you again and again. You thought I needed someone whole, but I just wanted you. Scars, shadows, soul. Remus, you were never too much to hold. You were fire dressed in quiet and gold. How I would have run with you through every night, howl with you beneath moonlight. But you kept loving me in silence, and I kept pretending I didn't know. But the truth is, the quiet one always knew. You flinched like you weren't allowed to dream, like happiness was some fragile thing. But I'd seen you laugh when no one could hear, and Merlin had made my world clear. You weren't the monster in the mirror, you were the calm when things got bitter. And I would have stayed even when you pushed me away. Remus, you were never too much to hold. You were fire dressed in quiet and gold. I would have run with you through every night, howl with you beneath moonlight. But you kept loving me in silence, and I kept pretending I didn't know. But the truth is, the quiet one always knew. I knew it in the way you watched me smile, like you were memorizing it for a while. In the way you stood just out of reach, as if loving me was a lesson you couldn't teach. Remus, you never had to hide your name, not from the girl who stayed through flame. I was wild, yes, but not blind. You were always the kindest kind. So if there's another chance, maybe in another life, speak it loud, no need to hide, because
ripped suits and broken dreams, charming like a lie whispered in a scream. Told me I was different, made me believe, but I knew loving you would make me bleed. You walked in with ghost on your sleeve, and I still stayed like I couldn't leave. Maybe I wanted to fix what can't be saved, or maybe I just love the way you break. You're chaos dressed in leather and regret, but I kissed you like I could forget. I held your heart like it wouldn't explode, even when your hands were ice and cold. I saw the boy behind the blood and sin, but every time I lost, you let me win. Billy, you never ruined me, but I think I ruined you gently. I still remember the way you said my name, like it was a secret only we could claim. You were never mine, not fully, not true, but God, I wore every scar you threw. You said I made you feel real again, like I could silence the noise in your head. But love isn't enough when the past won't die, and you never learned how not to lie. You're chaos dressed in leather and regret, but I kissed you like I could forget. I held your heart like it wouldn't explode, even when your hands were ice and cold. I saw the boy behind the blood and sin, but every time I lost, you let me win. Billy, you never ruined me, but I think I ruined you gentle. If I could go back, I'd still choose you, even if it ends the same way too. You're the fire I dance too close to, and the ashes I still breathe through. You're chaos wrapped in almost mine, and I loved you past every line. You never broke me, not all the way, but I broke myself trying to make you stay. Billy, you were my tragedy dressed like a king, and I ruined you gently. Saw you walk in like a war I lost. Every step lit a match to the frost. You're the reason I remember I'm still alive, and the reason I can't sleep through the night. Your laugh cuts sharper than any blade. Your eyes know every sin I've made. You see through me all the cracks and the rust, but you're still the only one I trust. Your glass and fire, untouchable desire. You burn me down, but I still chase the flame. You're the scar I wear, the cross I bear, the only one who ever knew my real name. Ellison, I'd break for you again. Every saint's got a shadow they hide, and every sinner begs God on the inside. But you untouchable desire. You burn me down, but I still chase the flame. You're the scar I wear, the cross I bear, the only one who ever knew my real name. Listen, I'd fall for you again. If I had a soul left to give, you'd already have it in your hands. But I'm broken and you're beautiful, and I don't know how to be a better man. You're glass and fire, my own live wire. You haunt me like a ghost that breathes. You're the storm I crave, the peace I gave, the one who never needed saving. But save me.
You were all sharp suits and broken dreams, charming like a lie whispered in a scream. Told me I was different, made me believe, but I knew loving you would make me bleed. You walked in with ghosts on your sleeve, and I still stayed like I couldn't leave. Maybe I wanted to fix what can't be saved, or maybe I just love the way you break. Your chaos dressed in leather and regret, but I kissed you like I could forget. I held your heart like it wouldn't explode, even when your hands were ice and cold. I saw the boy behind the blood and sin, but every time I lost you let me win. Billy, you never ruined me, but I think I ruined you gently. I still remember the way you said my name, like it was a secret only we could claim. You were never mine, not fully, not true, but God, I wore every scar you threw. You said I made you feel real again, like I could silence the noise in your head. But love isn't enough when the past won't die, and you never learned how not to lie. Your chaos dressed in leather and regret, but I kissed you like I could forget. I held your heart like it wouldn't explode, even when your hands were ice and cold. I saw the boy behind the blood and sin, but every time I lost you let me win. Billy, you never ruined me, but I think I ruined you gently. If I could go back, I'd still choose you, even if it ends the same way too. You're the fire I dance too close to, and the ashes I still breathe through. Your chaos wrapped in almost mine, and I loved you past every line. You never broke me, not all the way, but I broke myself trying to make you stay. Billy, you were my tragedy dressed like a king, and I ruined you gently. She walks like the night kissed her feet, soft and sure where I'd retreat. Winchester name carved in fight. But Luna, she is made of light. Her smile disarms the sharpest pain. Her touch could soothe a hurricane. She laughs like she's never been burned. And still I wonder what she's learned. Luna, you don't even know your worth. You turn ashes into earth while I've bled stars and broken skies. You just look at me with quiet eyes. You're the calm my soul would steal, the only thing that makes me feel real. You don't need magic to shine like gold. You don't need fire, your heart's that bold. And I'm the tribute they all fear. But you never disappear. You call me out with one small glance, as if I'm worthy of your stance. You hold my rage like it's a song, and suddenly it doesn't feel wrong. Luna, how do you breathe so pure in a world like ours unsure? You walk through monsters like you belong and make my silence feel less wrong. You're not a warrior, but still you fight with kindness sharper than any bite. And maybe I don't say it much, but when I break, I crave your touch. You see the girl beneath the shield. You see the parts I've never healed. You make me wish for something more, a future that I never saw before. Luna, if I'm ever brave enough, no, you're the reason I believe in love. In all the chaos, all the blood I've stirred, you're the one thing I don't deserve. But I'd fight fate, rewrite the curse, just to keep you in my... You walk like the world's always watching, like one wrong move might end it all. You carry the sky on your shoulders, but still you rise, even when you fall. They call you a tribrid, a weapon, a threat, but I only see the girl they forget, the one who laughs like she's out of breath and holds the universe inside her chest. Hope, you are the storm I'd stand in, the chaos I'd let pull me in. You think your darkness sharp and cold, but I've never seen a heart more gold. I'd walk through fire, I'd brave the night, if it meant you'd see your own light. You push away like you're doing me good, but don't you see I understood? I've lived with silence stitched to my skin. I know what it's like to keep it all in. But when I look at you, I don't see fear. I see someone fighting just to stay near. And if they call you monster, curse or sin, I'll just hold tighter, let them spin. Hope, you are the storm I'd stand in, the gravity I let pull me in. You rage like thunder, ache like rain, but you make beauty out of pain. You're not too much, you're everything, and I'd love you through every swing. You said you don't deserve someone kind, but love, that lie was never mine. Because I see you, not just the power, but the heart that blooms in the darkest hour. Hope, you are the storm I'd stand in, with every crack, with every spin. You don't have to fight me off, not now, because I choose you in any vow. And if you fall, I won't let go. You're the only home I've ever known. They fear what you are, but I just want